Okay, your task today was to read chapter 15. Just kind of a quick summary. What do we mostly read about today in chapter 15? Griffin, what did we mostly read about today in chapter 15?
After Julius Caesar died.
So we're reading about after Julius Caesar died, but really we can even zoom in even more than that. It's about Augustus Caesar, right? But really, we zoom in on something Augustus Caesar did. What was it? What did we zoom in on in this reading today? Claire. When he became emperor? What else? Because it didn't tell me everything about what he did. We zoomed onto one thing. Okay, Sam.
Oh. What he did for his land, city?
Kind of. I mean, a little bit, Brock. So maybe a little bit what he did for his city. Brock, what else?
What he did when he was emperor for the republic.
Kind of what he did as emperor. We can zoom in even more, guys. When we start, it just tells us a little bit about what happened at the beginning of chapter 15, right? As I go to the next page, what did I read about? The Pantheon. As I keep going, what did I read about? Keep going, what did I read about? Chariots. Or not just chariots, where was this? Circus Maximus. What did I read about? So, turn to your neighbor. What did we mostly read about today?
The most important yeah, but this was around
3, 2, 1. So yes, the things you said are correct. We read about life after Julius Caesar. We read about during Augustus Caesar's reign. We read about what he did for Rome, but more specifically, what was today's chapter about?
the buildings.
Zoe, what was it about?
It was about places and Rome.
It was about places in Rome, things that were built during that time, right? So we could call them ruins because it's older. A lot of them are wearing down or not as in the greatest shape as it used to be. But it all comes back to that idea of what we're learning about. All of it had to do with that. Did we learn about, was Augustus Caesar nice or mean? No. Did we learn about who else was in charge with him?
No.
No. Did we learn about who liked him and who didn't like him? No. So it wasn't necessarily about him reigning or him ruling, but it was about his time and what he did architecturally. So what did he have built? What was kind of built around that time in Roman history? So we're going to go to our questions together. Are you ready? We are going to find the answers in the text together. So after Julius Caesar was killed, a civil war broke out. True or false? I see people sitting like this. Is this a thumbs anywhere?
No.
So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Good, so it is true. What page could this be found on? Kaylin. Do you guys agree with her? Page 124?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to page 124 and we can see if we find it. Which paragraph will I find it in? You guys can all do it as well. Turn to page 124. Find it in your text and put your finger on it. Which paragraph is it in?
The first.
The first. Read the sentence with me. After Caesar was killed, another civil war broke out. Nice job, guys. That's that text evidence piece. We went into the story, we found it, we put our finger on it, and we can answer that question together. Okay? Wash your hands, Cooper. Next one. Augustus was Julius Caesar's brother and the new emperor after Caesar. Was that true or was that false? Stop eating. All of you are saying
False.
false. Very good. Now, where can we find the right answer? Charlie, what page can I find it on? Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Look on page 124 and find the right answer. Okay, sounds good. I'll come help you get your stuff ready. Good, so the answer to that one can be found in the second paragraph. Augusta was the adopted son, so he was not the brother, he was the son. Moving on to the next question. Augustus made himself emperor and got rid of the Senate and the consuls. Do you guys agree with that? Did he get rid of the emperor and did he become emperor and get rid of Senate and consuls?
No.
Or not so much?
No.
So this statement is what page can we find what actually happened? What page can we find what actually happened? Cooper. Do you guys agree with them?
No.
Ooh, Cooper, your classmates don't agree with you. So Cooper, let's see if they agree with other people more, okay? Ray, what page did you say?
124.
Do you guys agree with her?
Yes.
Oh, they're still thinking 124. Let's find it though. So more people agree with this one. So let's see if we find it. Go to page 124 and see if we can find what actually happened. Augustus made himself emperor and got rid of the Senate and the consuls. Find it. Put your finger on what actually happened. He was jumping ahead, guys. We'll see if you guys agree. Not 127 for the next one. I didn't know what you put, so I don't know. So find it. We're on page 124. Find the answer. I'm going to draw a name, and this person's going to read me the answer today. Charlie, loud and proud, read me where you found the answer.
He let the Romans keep the Senate and consuls.
Is that what he did?
Yes.
Right there we see, but Augustus did not sweep away all of the old traditions. He let the Romans keep the Senate and consuls. So we know that that is true. On page 124, we found our answer. Okay, next up, number 4. Romans went to the Colosseum to see people and animals battle one another. Is that true or is that false? That is
True.
Cooper, what page did you find it on?
127.
Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Phew, Cooper had jumped ahead a question last time, so he wasn't wrong. He was just wrong. He was just on the wrong thing. He was just jumping ahead. Go to page 127. And that makes sense that we would read about it here because we see the Colosseum, and it was asking about this, right? Point to where you find the answer on page 127. It requires being on page 127, right? Right here. When I pull this stick, this person's going to read to us their answer. Read to us their answer. Cooper, this is your question, apparently.
The Romans went to the Colosseum to see people and animals fight.
The Romans went to the Colosseum to see people and animals fight. Nice work. Okay. Final question we had. Augustus said that he found Rome in marbles and left it in brick. Is this what he said? Or is this not what he said?
No. No. Yes. No.
Ooh, no.
Yes.
No. I'm not going to answer this one right now. Let's see. What page can we find it on, Emery? So what I want you to do is do you guys agree 125?
Yes.
Go to page 125, and I want you to find his quote on page 125 and see if he said that he found Roman marble and left it in brick. Find it and see if that's what he said. Is that the same as what was on here?
No. It's just flipped around, honestly. Yeah. It's just flipped around. Yeah.
But it's still wrong, right?
Because
So
it
no, it is not. No, we'll talk about what it means. So when we find it on page 125, it said he once boasted that he Wow, can you not read? What was that? That was like rah, 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 rah. Let's read it. Ready? He Okay, we're gonna do this together. Ready?
Oh my gosh.
You're going to read what is in parentheses. He once boasted that he We're not with the class. He found Rome in brick and left it in marble. So Aiden's arguing all it is they flipped it around. But that's not his quote then, right? So we know that this is false. Now what he's saying when he says that though, guys, when he says he found Rome in brick, is brick very pretty?
No.
Is marble?
Oh, yeah.
So what he's saying is like, I found it and it was built, it's cool, but I made it marble. I made it better. I made it more amazing, right? If you find something in marble, marble's pretty grand. If you leave it in brick, you downgraded. So he's saying he took Rome and he made it better. Would you agree? He uplifted it, yes. So that's why that quote isn't right, though. You have to make sure it is correct. How many of you, at least first time around, were tricked by that question a little bit? Yeah, because you know it's talking about brick and marble, but because it didn't fit perfectly, it was not what he said. Very good with that. Third graders, once again, that's the idea of finding text evidence, going into the answer and prove it. A lot of you probably just said, yeah, true, right away, because you remember them talking about brick and marble. But if it's not exactly how it is, if we didn't use text evidence to find our work, we could be wrong, right? Great job with that. We're going to jump to our reading piece today, or our read aloud piece. Sound good?